All right, guys, welcome back. Whether you're watching us right here on YouTube or maybe you're watching us TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, whatever you're watching us on, thank you for checking us out here. Don't forget, we do reactions on our broadcast. We also do a weekly live show every Wednesday around 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about trending topics of the week, and we have a lot of fun talking about them. Man, let me get into it. Right now, I'm about to do a reaction to something that's on the Cut YouTube channel called Interracial Couples Play Truth or Drink. And I'm in an interracial relationship. And so this probably would have been something fun to do with Joy. But she's taking a nap. So I know better. She's a nurse. You don't do that. You don't do that. Don't do that. So I'll check this out. And if there's some other interracial couple things that I should check out, comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And suggest it right here. It's about 5 minutes long. So for YouTube, we're going to do the full one. On the other platforms, it might be edited down, but you can always check the full video out right here on YouTube. So let's get right into it, guys. Interracial couples play truth or drink. Leg out.
What were your parents' first impressions of me?
Oh, don't answer that.
Why is our son dating a black woman?
Dang. He really just straight up. Dang. Let's see how many of these couples are going to survive this one. I had to pause that one. Wow. Why is my son dating a black woman? I don't know. Well, are we going to have to make chitlins and collard greens for dinner when she comes over? Stuff like that. Like, you need to know. I'm already 8 seconds in on this. You need to know if your new in-laws are gonna be like that. Lucky for me, mine are not. I'm lucky. I met some people that are like that. If I would have pursued a relationship with, that it would have been like that. Coming up, I had no preference and whatnot. My children are black, and I met Joy after. I left their mom, so I don't have a preference of, color or anything like that. I open myself up to, a relationship. Joy's that came into my life was that perfect person for me. But do these thoughts, run through your head, whether you are overly sensitive about these subjects or whether you don't care enough? These thoughts run through your head like all the time. You wonder, if I'm going to be in a relationship, will my family members act a fool about it? Will their family members act a fool about it? You think about these things, and it can matter. It can be, and especially depending on how deep close the family is or how not close they are. These things can get messy, man. So take a shot.
Hi, my name's Rachel, and this is
Mike.
Rachel and Mike.
I'm Acacia.
Tanya and Makisha.
Today's shoot is interracial couple.
That's us.
All right.
That's it.
That is.
what? You're not white?
What is each of your ethnicities?
I'm from Honduras. I'm African American and Alaskan Native American.
I'm Puerto Rican and black, and you are?
I'm gonna stop right there. Puerto Rican and black. Like, you know what? Coming up, Puerto Ricans, like no matter what you are, you have a little bit of black in you. Most 9 out of 10, you just consider black. Puerto Ricans are the one group mostly where you could be like the dark. It don't matter what your shade, whether you white pass or not. Don't matter. You have it's the opposite. With my Puerto Rican friend, my homeboy, my best friend's Puerto Rican. Each other. Dang, it's been over almost 30 years, pretty much. But about to be coming up on 30 years. It's the opposite with that group. You have a splash of Puerto Rican in you. You Puerto Rican. Any other race, if you have a splash of black, you black. But you have a touch of Puerto Rican in you, you Puerto Rican. It don't matter. You could be the darkest brother, Puerto Rican. If I'm a Puerto Rican, you Puerto Rican. Your dad Puerto Rican, you Puerto Rican. Your great whatever Puerto Rican, you Puerto Rican. You Puerto Rican. They that's the one group that I've noticed that they try to trump over the whole, no, you black, fool. Because even if even though no matter what, if you especially you still black. So it don't matter, but that's the one group I noticed that was like, nah, you Puerto Rican, fool. Let me know what you think about that. My Boricua friends out there. Am I wrong?
Vietnamese.
They say I'm a white nut.
And my mom is Caucasian white, and my dad is black.
Is anybody nervous?
Both of us. Yeah.
Do you want to take a shot?
Yeah. I'm a little tense right now.
They want to take a shot before they even start.
Who orgasms more in the bedroom?
Good question.
I
Let me stop right there. The dude, she's like, you do. I mean, technically, a woman is supposed to orgasm more, right? Like, dude, they gonna break up. I don't know, man. All right, let me go.
probably agree with that.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
He's like, yeah, toes curling right now.
I be busting the most nuts. You actually gave me the best head I've ever received in my entire life.
Oh, black people love to
me.
hear that.
Surprise!
The Puerto Rican, it's man.
Do you fake orgasms?
It depends. Sometimes I have, because in all truth, my epilepsy medication makes it so it is so difficult.
I want me to stop right there. I feel on that. I used like if I'm on some Adderall, you know, that'll mess you up, man. So medication can be a factor, man. So he got, I paused it right when his eyes are closed. He's like the male ego and stuff. But bro, don't take she's probably she's talking some real stuff. So like, dude, just be happy that she really to keep going with you. Some people would be like, "Oh, use that medication." They lean in on the medication. They'll be like, they'll use that as the excuse to not even do it no more and stuff. So she sound like y'all keeping it going. So breathe, man, breathe. All right, let's go.
Before we dated, did you have a racial preference? Black or brown? I think for me, like in a relationship, I really need to be like understood. You don't want to have to explain your blackness to people, literally.
Right.
I'm like open to all racial preferences.
Well, let me stop right there. Well, you're biracial, so you're like right there, like black or white. Well, yeah, because that's what you. Yeah, that's what you are, black or white. So most biracial people, unless I can't speak for it because I'm not biracial. So I'm curious. Most biracial people, I'm curious on that. If you have if you lean one way or the other as far as your preference, is it because you feel like, is there something that happened that you feel like you're more comfortable with it, or is it something that you had a bad experience or a good experience or something like that leans you forward? Did you meet? Was your preference one way at first, or was it open at first, and then you met somebody? It's like, oh, now my preference is mostly this, or are you like just like me, like it don't matter, you know? I'm curious about that. But biracial people, let me hear from you guys on that one. All right, let's go.
I did have a streak of white girls, Caucasian.
Would you say that your most serious relationships have been with white guys?
Well, I was married to one,
And you're about to marry another one.
and I'm about to marry another
Maybe.
one.
What were your parents' first impressions of me?
My mom said you looked old.
You were what?
What did your dad say?
You were small.
It helps.
Old and small.
Yeah.
Old and small. Old and small. She like, oh, I gotta.
My
take a
mom
shot.
was in love with you.
Oh.
I want to know what your parents thought of me when they first met me.
I didn't know how they're gonna react to me dating you, Nicole, because like
Me having a disability.
you having a disability, like. But when my dad met you, it was like boom, you guys meshed. You guys took photo ops. I was like, wow, my dad's taking a photo op with my like future to be. Like this is just crazy. And I was just like, well, no, I have nothing to worry about.
What were your parents' first impressions of me?
Why is
I
he
mean,
dating a black
honestly,
woman?
why is our son dating a black woman?
A black.
In their eyes, this was unacceptable. My parents feel strong about, I don't want to use like stick to your kind or whatever, but that's
Yeah, okay, we stop right there. Like, I don't want to use the N word. That's the word they would have used. But I'm just, you could see it in their eyes. She came up more, open. She's like, that's her right man of her preference. Seems like that's her thing. That's her jam. That's what gets her jelly rolling. And he was like, I have to be talked into it. It wasn't love at first sight. Come back around the block a little bit. Like, get the rhythm. Okay. Hey. So when can I meet your parents? He's like,
that's how they came across. Like black people should marry black people, white people should marry white people, and it's just.
Stop right there. And what people don't realize is with all the interracial dating that's going on right now, in the 80 percentile throughout all the races, if you look at the stats, that's what still happens. 80, high 80s, like almost 90s. It's still like 9 times out of 10, a black man will marry a black woman. 9 times out of 10, a white man will marry a white woman. It's still high numbers. But overall, we focus on the interracial ones. And people are still out there that gives looks. I got tunnel vision. I mean, I'm in my head about it. I'm not even in my head about it. Joy notices it more than I ever will. Do I kind of keep my eyes on swivel? I'll peep them a little bit to see if they disrespectfully looking at us too hard or whatnot, but I don't worry about it too much. There's looking and there's gawking. She's in her head that everybody's gawking at us, but ain't nobody gonna say nothing. I mean, I wish you would. We ain't that close to a sundown town. You get your ass kicked. All right, let me keep going. But look at those girl right here, man. Look at those girl. All my life I had to fight. All right, go.
So horrible. It's horrible.
How do you get along with his family?
I don't.
Oh, stop right there. I don't. Man, he going against the willing to risk it all. He like, I don't. My mom dated a white guy that was like that. That was when he met my family for the first time. I remember my uncle made fun of him. As one of them went, he was a cop. My mom's boyfriend was a cop or a constable, and my uncle was an HPD a detective, high ranking, been there for years. I'm like. So when my uncles, not the detective, not my uncle Wayne, he didn't say this. It was another uncle, my Uncle Bennett. When they were to be like, "Don't you hurt my sister," make those threats. They meant that. They meant that. And I remember my other uncle, the youngest uncle, he was just picking on him the whole time. Just like, man, why you in there so scared? He's like, I went up to him and I asked him, "Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I'm nervous." Just had everybody just pick when your nerves show that much, you just gonna make it worse. You might as well chill out. Your nerves kick in, we gonna wonder why. Like, all right, we just playing with you. We know it's a tense situation, but chill out. Now we think you got something to hide. So relax, bro. Enjoy the chitlins. All right, let's go.
Which family member of mine is secretly racist?
Your dad.
I know.
Your dad, bro.
He's a black man with a closed mind.
Now you can't even find another black lesbian, man. My kids ain't ever gonna be black. Like, what you talking about, Dad? You stupid. That's stupid.
Your mom is racist as fuck.
What he say? Your mom is racist.
I'm just saying, like, she's all the things.
Yeah.
She's racist, sexist. Do you agree?
100%.
I got a homeboy. He's half black, half white, and his wife is Filipino. He said that his in-laws did not like him or the idea of their daughter dating him because a long time ago a black guy robbed them or took her purse or something like that. So it took him a minute. But this dude is like college grad, made it a whole bunch of money. Me and him went overseas and stuff. It's funny how when we went overseas, contracting for the military, doing those contracting work during in Iraq, making all that money. It's funny how a lot of people that were hating on us contractors before we went overseas got over it quick, like ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, family members that don't like you. But the second you making that money, all of a sudden it's like, hey, how's my favorite son-in-law? Like I heard too many stories like that. Like they forget. Oh, I forgot you were black.
Well, I would say all of them, but if I had to pick the most, I would probably say your sister. Only because she has been the most outspoken negatively towards me.
What's the biggest cultural stereotype that I embody?
Gospel.
What?
Related to gospel.
Gospel?
Yeah,
Gospel
black
music?
people love gospel music.
Oh my god. You love
We like, what's the one stereotype about me that fits the bill? Your girlfriend, like, man, every day you just get up It's if it ain't DMX, it's This Little Light of Mine. It's one or the other. Go.
You literally love gospel.
She snorted.
Bro.
I think it's more like culture than stereotype.
I mean, you're really into math. And yeah, rice, I guess. You really like rice.
I could think of a few other ones that you've mentioned. My driving.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Asian and
she go call it out. Yeah, you talk about my driving. Yeah, me and Joy do the same thing. We'll call out each other's stereotypes and stuff. But it'd be funny. It's funny how you be with somebody and you think you're gonna have to deal with those stereotypes, and you don't have to deal with at all. The some of the funny ones like if you in a horror movie and you know like. She be the main one talking. Yeah, like, we getting our butts out of there. We ain't gonna. I'm not tripping, or like she probably would trip me to make sure that she survives the slasher and stuff like that, right? So I'd have to watch my back with her. It's like we ain't going camping. This is her words. We ain't going a hike, skydiving. No, like she'll say that's white people stuff before I do. It's crazy. All right, go.
I'd have to say your Starbucks infatuation.
Starbucks.
Entitlement, privilege. You
Is she talking
got
about her or
in trouble
him?
for trying to outrun a police officer. Somehow, some way, you made it to the jailhouse intact. If you would have been a black male, things could have gone very, very different for you.
And he's like, and that's a problem? They're my favorite. They got all the drama. All right,
yeah, I recognize that.
What's my biggest stereotype?
I mean, outspoken, brash.
There is a stereotype out there of the angry black woman, and I'm not afraid of that stereotype.
Yeah, and you about to find out after this video. Tamara turns off. Brass. Wait till we get into the car. What was that? Oh, let me shut up. All right, go.
what was something you were embarrassed to ask me regarding my culture?
Oh, about the language. Why don't you want to speak Vietnamese in the Vietnamese restaurant?
I'm unsure of my skills sometimes.
But you speak Vietnamese to your parents.
I know enough to communicate with them, but just not enough to
be judged by others. What? Like, if you mess something up, you mess something up. Like, people understand. People get made fun of, and this is something I can't relate with, being African American, being black. How, you know, you get it wrong and stuff like that, you get made fun of, like in Hispanic cultures and stuff. Like, if you don't speak Spanish, they'll treat you a certain way and stuff. Like you lost your connection and stuff like that. And then we are so, as black people, so removed from our connections that it's like they don't even faze us, man. We have to spiritually, we have to go on that mental journey to even want to connect like to that. Nah, we are so far removed. But it's funny what are the things that have survived throughout, you know, the century. So it's a crazy thing. All right, go.
order properly.
What was something you were embarrassed to ask me regarding my culture?
Maybe a little embarrassed to not know more about Black history. I didn't know about Juneteenth. I wouldn't say I've been embarrassed to ask about it, but, well, I guess maybe I'm embarrassed to ask about it just for fear of you being like, why don't you know this already?
So many people still don't know.
They try to take it out of schools and they try to remove it.
Traction. Like your kids now, they know. So that's what we have to do, I think, as parents, is just educate our children so the next generation coming up does know about these things.
Did you learn anything new about each other?
Yeah, I did learn some things new. About her faking orgasms. But other than that, it was features.
I knew he was going to go. I knew he was going to. He was still thinking about it, man. Of course. So you've been faking it, huh? You're right. That's what that blackness kicked in. Wait until we get into the car. There's going to be a lot of, at least two of those couples going to be talking about some serious shit when they get into the car, man. That's funny. Be an interesting one to have with Joy. So send me some suggestions or some questions that I should run down with her on that one. So let me know what you guys think, and that'll be a good one. That would be a good one to have a conversation with her about that. So like, subscribe, let me know what you guys think, and until next time, guys, peace.
Our supporters help make all this content possible, so make sure you check out our Patreon page so you can help us bring you the content you want.
Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal. Yo. Turned up on another level. Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal.